which is your subject name, right? So this is the subject, object oriented programming 1. So we call it as a OOP1, right? This is your subject name. So before I go into that discussion, I guess we should clear about what are the basic programming skills related, like knowledge or abbreviations that we use in the software industry. So let us have certain interaction. I hope I'm loud and clear and my screen is visible. Yes or no? Am I loud and clear? Are you following my words?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
fine. So we will have little bit of revision kind of thing. So can anyone tell me what is program? I guess you have learned your CPU, C programming. Yes or no? Have you learned the language C? What all you know? Have you learned the C? Okay. Are you done with the database management systems? DBMS? Okay. Are you done with the operating system? I guess no. Operating system is in this semester. Yes or no? Operating system is being offered in this semester, so you are not aware. Okay, fine. No worries. So, what is program? Programming language which is use the system. Not exactly parts. Uh, Nirjar is saying that block of code. Block of code. Okay, block of code. Let us put this answer on hold and move to the next question, because I'll be back to that question soon. I'll be back to that discussion. Before that, can you tell me what is computer? What is computer? We are just brushing up whatever we learned in previous semester and which is required in order to learn this subject. I'm not going into the detail of everything, but I am going to focus on the things which are required for my course, right? My content delivery. Okay, so what is computer? Anyone? You can unmute yourself. That's totally fine. Yeah, Jay Manik, that's correct. Program is collection of instructions. I wanted that answer. Even block of code is right. Nothing wrong in that. But more relevant to my discussion is program is collection of instruction. Now my question is, what is computer? What is computer? Can anybody give the answer? This is a very simple question. I'm not asking anything which is more difficult. Nirjar, we are not using it only for calculation. Are you using laptop for calculating your accounts? No. Device for storing and processing data. Okay. So calculation is one functionality, Nirjar, but apart from that, we do lot many other things. Computer is a device which gets the instruction, evaluate the instruction, and give the output. Very good, interesting. Om Joshi, interesting reply. Paras says computer is machine which makes task easy, accurate, and fast. Yeah, exactly. That's the application, not the definition. If I would have asked like why we use computer, then Paras, your answer is exactly perfect for that. Nishita is saying store and process data from binary form. From binary form? I guess Nishita, you should rebuild your sentence. Okay, so I got various reply, and somehow at higher or lower degree all are connected, right? But if I define a computer, I would say computer is an electromechanical device. Yes or no? Because we do have certain mechanical part also. and it is electronics device. So I can say electromechanical device, right? What it does, which takes the input from the user, processes it, and gives desired output. Okay, so this we can give in the terms of a definition of a program also. We will relate everything, right? It's electromechanical device, which what the few people have said over here, which stores and processes the data, right? Now, to store the data, we require input. What you want to store? To process the data, we require certain programs. Yes or no? Right? And we are doing this, we are using this in order to achieve whatever like Paras has said, to make the task easy, fast, accurate. To do all this thing, we are using an electromechanical device. So if you think about, or if you focus on the words, here everybody is talking about data. Whether to store or whether to process, we are talking about data. Fine. But if I say computer is merely a device, which is combination of electronics and mechanical principles, because we do have hard disk which spins around. We do have an actuator, or we call it as a hard disk arm, which move around in order to read the data from the hard disk. As well, we do have electronics chips which passes the data. We have certain wires, those electronics, tiny wires which we call buses, which is connecting your keyboard, which is again, keyboard is having some mechanism, certain mechanical principles are applied, some springs are there, we press it, it generates some signals, electronic signals, and it passes. So all this thing, if you simplify, you can say computer is a electromechanical device which store and processes the data, right? Now, what are the basic parts? What are the basic parts? Or you can say, what are the basic units? Store and process data can at times be called a mathematical or logical operation. Process the data by applying mathematical and logical operations. What is mathematical and what is logical? As somebody said, who said for the calculation? Nirjar. So Nirjar, calculation is mathematical part. It is there, mathematical part. What is logical? What type of logical operations computer does? All other operations where calculation is not involved, such as copying a file, right? Such as searching data over the internet and searching answer for certain question, right? There are predefined logical steps. Step number 1, open your browser. Step number 2, type an URL for search engine. Step number 3, type your question. Step number 4, click on search button. So these are there is logical sequence of the operations. So computer is an electromechanical device which stores and processes data by applying mathematical and logical operations. Okay, so if I ask you the next question, that what are the basic units of computer? Can anyone tell me what are the basic units of a computer? Anyone? What are the basic units of a computer? Come on, guys. This is the question from CPU, Computer Programming and Utilization, C language. Arithmetic and logical unit, ALU, MU, and CU. MU is for what? Devarsh, what is MU? CU is control unit, right? ALU, memory unit. Okay. What about input and output, Devarsh? So we broadly categorize it as an input unit, then we call it as a CPU, central processing unit, a cabinet, a big cabinet. And nowadays it's laptop. So the flattened surface where your keyboard is placed, under that we have this CPU, central processing unit. And in central processing unit, we have ALU plus CU, that is arithmetic and logical unit, plus control unit, which controls all the operation, plus memory unit, right, which deals with the storing the data. And the third one we do have is the output unit, is the output unit. Fine, right? So CPU is a cabinet, or you can say a central part of your laptop or computer, where do we have the motherboard. And yeah, Nirjot, there are a lot many other things. GPUs we have CMOS battery, we have motherboard, we have microprocessor. But if I talk about broader sense, what are the basic units? I'm not asking the detail units, I'm asking the basic units. Then it includes the ALU and CU, which is part of your microprocessor, and we have memory unit. We have memory. Now, can you tell me what are the types of memory? Two basic types. I'm not asking the detailed one. Types of memory, because we do have memory unit to store the data. So what are the basic units, memory units? RAM and ROM, or we call it as a primary memory and secondary memory. What is the difference? Primary memory and secondary memory. What is primary memory? Let us say your RAM and ROM and all are the primary memory. What it does? It's volatile or non-volatile? It's a volatile memory or non-volatile memory. And secondary memory is example is hard disk drive. Let us focus on these two things and discuss. Random access memory. Primary memory is volatile or non-volatile? RAM is volatile or non-volatile? That's what I'm asking. RAM is volatile, exactly. RAM is volatile. What do you mean by volatile? What do you mean by volatile? What do you mean by volatile? When somebody says memory is volatile or non-volatile, what do you mean by that? Hard disk is non-volatile. When we turn off the device, data doesn't wiped out in non-volatile. Exactly. In a simple term, power gone, data gone. That's the volatile memory. That's the volatile memory, right? So you can call it as a temporary memory also. You can call it as a temporary memory. It's not permanent. It's not permanent, right? But when we talk about certain data which we want to use later in future, we need a non-volatile memory, which is your secondary storage, right? Now I have a next question. I'm asking all this because I am sure in first year you have learned this. My next question is, what is program? What is program? And I'm just brushing up your knowledge because I wanted to deliver my sessions properly. What is program? Series of set of instructions code, or instructions or code. Paris, you are good with the knowledge. Only the thing is you need to arrange your words properly. Set of instructions. And set of instructions itself is called a code. Itself is called a code. Single instruction means one line of code. Set of instruction, so many lines of code. Okay? So set of instructions. Now my question is, what is C? What is C? You have learned, right? Say yes or no. Type in chat box. You have learned C programming language. Yes or no? Okay. So what is C? So I thought like should not ask something which you have not learned. What is C? Basic programming language? No, it's a higher level programming language. It's not basic. You need a knowledge to learn it. Higher level programming language. What is programming language? What is programming language? What do you mean by programming language? This is you have not read anywhere. None of the book has specified it. This should come from your IQ or common understanding. Yeah, that's right, Devarsh. C is a procedural computer programming language. Or you can say it's a procedure oriented. Right? This I'll need it for my discussion. She is procedure oriented. Exactly. Om Joshi, programming language is a mediator between computer and a human, right? Now let us define first language. What is language? If I want to convey certain things to you, I need to use language as a medium to transmit the information from my side to you, right? So we use language. Right now I'm using English language, right? So language is a medium through which two humans can interact, right? Interaction between two human beings is possible using language. It could be English, Hindi, Gujarati, Punjabi, anything. Like a medium of interaction between two humans is a language. So the way human can talk to human, at times human wants to give command to computers. So Om has correctly said programming language is a mediator, or you can say programming language is a medium through which human can interact with computer, or human can give command to computer, right? So when I say programming language is a medium to instruct computer, we need to, what we want to do is we want to instruct. To instruct somebody means to give command. To give command, you know, you want to give command, right? So if you want to give command to computer, you require a programming language. For example, you want to calculate addition of two numbers. You required a command to do it. You required a program to calculate it. Fine. So programming language is a medium to instruct the computer to perform a desired task, right? And what is program? What is program? Somebody has said like it's a set of instructions. Set of instructions we have defined here. What is program? Program is a set of instructions, right? And when I say instructions, usually these instructions are line of code. You are writing line of code to give that command, to give that instruction. So the way each and every language is having the rule. If I talk about human language, English is having certain rule. If I'm going to talk about future, I have to say I will be. If I'm talking about my past, I have to say I was. And if I'm talking about present, I'll say I am. I am teaching you right now. I was teaching 5TC2 in last semester. I will be teaching first semester in 2021. So there are certain language rules, right? Grammar has to be followed, right? Similar way, each and every programming language is having certain rule to write the code. We call it as a language rule of programming. So these language rule of programming is known as a syntax. It is known as syntax. What is syntax? Syntax are programming language rule which says how to write a program. How to write a program, right? So it's known as language rules. For example, to make a calculator, I required two integer number to give as an input. Two numbers without points, so it's integer. So I have to declare it. I can write integer A, right? Two numbers are required. So I have to take number 1 and number 2. I need to ask user to enter number. So I can write printf. I have to write double quote and I'll give the message enter number 1. So this is just a message being conveyed to user. So to print something on the output console, I should use the printf. So this is the syntax. Every C language command or the code line ends with the semicolon. That's a language rule. I have to follow it. If I'm not following it, I will have syntactical error. We call it a syntax error. Syntactical error, right? So when program is a set of instruction, to write those instructions, we need to learn syntax of a particular language. For example, in C, you have learned that to declare two integers, we can write int keyword. We can give valid variable name. We should do comma in between, and each and every line of a C code ends with a semicolon. We also learned that printf is a function. We call it as a library function, which is used to print something on the output screen. Fine. So these are the syntax to do it. Now, if I define program in a more technical way, then I can say program takes the input from the user, process it, and gives a desired output. It gives a desired output, right? Program takes input from the user, process it, and gives the desired output. To do this, we required a set of instructions. To do this, we required how to read input from the user. What is exactly need to be? Do I want to add two numbers or I want to convert Indian rupees into USD, US dollars, right? After calculation, what I need to display? Both rupees and dollar or only rupees? This thing needs to be decided, right? And this need to be learned. What are the syntax to take input? What are the syntax to print something on screen? And what are the processing or how to write the code, which is with the help of programming construct. So there is basic program structure. We call it as a program control also. So program structure could be three-way. Any program will have this structure. Either it will be sequential, where program executes line by line, first line, second line, third line. Other programming construct is selection or branching. Selection, or you can say branching. What is selection and branching? Such as your if-else, if condition, if-else condition, your later if, your switch case. These are the selection or branching. We are selecting based on the condition. If attendance is less than 75%, do not allow to give exam. If attendance is greater than or equal 75%, allow for the exam. So this is selection we are doing based on the input, either this or this, right? And the third is looping or repetition, you can say. At times, you want to repeat certain lines, certain code, right? So you are going to repeat certain code, right? So for that we have for loop, we have do while loop. I'm talking about C right now. Do while loop, and we have while loop, right? Right? Looping, or you can say iteration also. Iterative things we can say, repeated things, or we can say repetition. So this could be the program structure. Either your program will go in the sequential manner one by one, or your program will have to go with the selection, either this or this based on the input, or it could be looping or repetition. Fine. Up till now, anybody is having any doubt, any question? Anyone? Anyone having any doubt, any question? Say yes or no, give me the acknowledgement. Can we have the interactive session? I don't want to be like a news reader. I'm keep on saying and I don't know whether others are listening or not. Okay. What is function? What is function? You have learned C, right? Can you answer me? What is function? Let me define it in a technical way. We can say function is a subroutine which may contain, or which may contain one, or at times there could be one statement also, one or more statements designed to have particular task, right? So if you look at the definition, we said function is a subroutine. What is subroutine? Something which is going in sequence. In between, don't have to go there. You have to take another route. We call it as a subroute. So function is a subroutine which is not coming on the way of the sequential execution, but you need to go there. Your program control has to go there. It has to execute it there. There could be one or more statements. It will execute it. If there are some return values, it will come up with the return values to the main program, right? To the calling program. Okay. Now, can you tell me what is main function or main method? In C language, what is main? Anyone? What is main method? Main part of the program. Yeah, when program executes first, it called the main function. Exactly. So we can say main is the starting indication of any program. What does it mean? In other words, your program, C program, starts execution from main function, right? Right? So if I say starting of any C program execution, if I say function could be of two types, right? What are those types? Function types. First, what are the types of functions in C? User defined. Very good. User defined. And another one is, the second type is, we call it as a library function. In other word, we call it as a built-in function. Can you give me the example of library functions? Anybody? SQRT. Do you know that there is a function called SQRT? If I write a 16, it will return me 4 square root. I do have sine function also. If I say sine 60, it will give me the sine 60 value. These are all the mathematical functions, right? Of course, we do have CLR, SCR, very good path. CLR, SCR, which clears the screen, right? Path studio.h and math.h are the library files. They are not functions. So library files contains the functions. Fine. So if I say math.h, to use the math function, I need to include it in my code. So I'll write include math.h. When I'm writing include math.h, now I'll be able to use SQRT function, right? If I write 60 and if I write it inside a printf, %d, this way, it will give me the answer 4. It will display 4, right? Similar way, I can go with the sine 60 sine function. I can go with cos, any values I can give, 90. I can go with the 10, right? Sine, cosine, tan, cot, all those functions are available in math.h. Along with that, we do have Studio. Somebody said before a few minutes about printf and scanf. They were just saying. So it is there in Stadio.h. What is Stadio? Standard input output. Stadio means standard input output. And that is used to get the input and output, to use the input and output related functions such as printf, which is output to display the output. We have scanf to take the input. We have getS to take the string. Yeah, exactly, Devarsh. We have putS to put the string. So all these are there in the Stadio. Along with that, I have to write hash include, right? Along with that, I have string also. So I have include. Before that, we'll talk about conio.h. Can anybody tell me which are the functions, library functions inside conio.h? Conio.h, let me tell you, it is your clear screen and getch. Getch. Okay. Along with that, we have another library or header file. We call it as a header file, and that's why we have extension .h, right? Which is string.h. What are the string functions available? Yeah, conio stands for console input output path. Exactly right. CON, console input output. So console means the screen, right? As well as your keyboard, right? So getch is for keyboard and clear screen is for your output. Console is your that visual display unit which you have. Yeah, we have a substring SPSTR. We have REVSTR, reverse string. We have concate string, right? We have strlen for string length, right? String cat, strcat, concate is not there. It is strcat, right? So there are various functions which are, yeah, string compare is also there. So strcmp, string compare. All these are the library functions. Now I have a question over here. Main falls in which category? Which type of function is main? We are agree, right? Main is a function because it have parentheses. You see that, and whatever you have written, all those functions were having the parentheses. Main is which type of function? Built-in. Jay, are you sure? Is it a built-in? Built-in means what? Library. Library means what? Library function means what? It's a definition or the body. What it will do is already written. It is already written. For the main, is the body already written? No, right? I guess you have corrected yourself. For the main, we are writing the body. So main is not library function. Main is a special user defined function, because main method is having the indication. Compiler knows that I have to start the execution from this point, right? But body of the main is defined by the developer. So we call it as a user defined. Whenever we are defining the function, we call it as a defining means what? Defining means giving or writing something inside the body, what this function will do, that we are deciding, right? I can write here clear screen. I can write here printf, and I say welcome to MEFGI, right? So this I am deciding what will be this body of your main. So we call it as a user defined. Fine. Now, what is void main? Parth asked something, and then I recall that I should ask that also. What is void main? What are the variation in main? I can write void main, or I can write int main. What is the difference? Path, right? It's a return type of a function. So void means return nothing. And when I'm writing integer main, what does it mean? If I'm defining my main method or main function using int main, if I use int main, then the return statement is compulsory. I have to compulsory write return 0, because 0 means nothing. 0 means nothing. So either I can write void main. If I'm writing void main and then defining the main body, then there is no need to write the return 0. But if I'm writing integer main, it means that main is going to return something. As main is the starting indication, nobody is going to call it. If nobody is going to call it, and still if I'm writing that some integer value will be returned, it will be returned to your compiler or to your operating system. And as there is nothing to be left out to give, so we are returning 0. 0 means nothing. Void means nothing. Void means no data type. 0 means nothing. Fine. So you can define your main method either by writing void main or by writing integer main. Is it clear? Now I have last question to be discussed, and then I'll give you chance to ask the question. What is compiler? What is compiler? Oh, no, Om Joshi, that's the next question. What is interpreter? These are two different things. Don't mix it. What is compiler? What is interpreter? Who was teaching you, see? Parth never give this definition. What is compiler? It is used for compile. No, that's not the definition. When I say what is computer, the one which is compute. This is not called definition. You are just elaborating the word. Give the meaning. What is the definition? Samir Joshi is saying special program that, special program in the sense we call it as a system software that processes the statement written in a particular language. For what purpose, Samir? You are right. But for what purpose? They were just saying compiler is a computer program that translates code written in one program into another language. Yeah, one language to another language. But how? We will have higher level programming language code. That means suppose your hello.c file, this is your program hello.c. What you will do when you do compilation, you give it to compiler, right? And what compiler will do? Compiler will convert your higher level exactly Nirjar, exactly it does that, translate the code into the that machine can understand. So your hello.c program will be converted into the machine code. And why we want to convert it into the machine code? Why we want to convert into machine code? Because you only said computer is electronic mechanical device which takes the input, it processes it. When it processes it, where it will go? Where it will go? What is the basic unit? It will go to CPU. What is there in the CPU? CPU is having microprocessor which contains the ALU and CU. What microprocessor will do? It will read the input, it will translate the instructions into a particular language where your compiler will convert it so that your microprocessor can understand it. So your C program will be converted into the machine level code so that your microprocessor can understand what you are saying or what you are asking for. Fine. So that's what a compiler means. Compiler converts your higher level program or your program into the machine level language. So it translates it, right? From program to machine code. So usually the machine code is the binary language. Somebody correctly said before few minutes, it's a computer understands the binary language. Fine. And what is interpreter? What is interpreter? What is the difference? It does the same. Do you know that? It also converts the higher level language into the machine code. Then what's the difference? Compiler does all together in a single go, whereas interpreter does it line by line translation. That's the only difference, right? It looks like only difference, but if we are going to into the detail, there is 10 minutes difference between this because of this one point, right? But as of now, you require this much, right? Compiler and interpreter are not the same. They are different. They both are system level software. System level software are the special software, right? Which deals with the hardware. Why it is special or system level software? Because compiler converts the programming language into the binary code so that your microprocessor can understand it. So microprocessor is a hardware. So usually the software which are specifically designed for the hardware, we call it as a system software, such as your protocol, HTTP protocol, HTTP www.google.com. So HTTP is having a purpose. It's a special one which deals with your mobile or laptop and sends the request to server. So it has to deal with the hardware. So we call it as a system software. And what is interpreter? Again, does the same thing, converts your program into the machine code, but it does it line by line. So error checking will be reported at each and every line. If first line is having the error, it will not check rest of the lines and it will give you the error message. Then the second line will be checked, then the third line will be checked. Whereas in compiler, it is not like that. Entire programs will be checked in a one pass. It will report all the errors together. That's the difference between compiler and interpreter. Anybody having any questions, any doubt up till now? Whatever we have discussed, if you have any questions, you can ask me questions right now. I guess this is batch C, right? Anybody having any question, any doubt up till now? We have last 5 minutes. So I'm giving you that for question answer. If we summarize today's session, what we did is we started our discussion with what is program, what is computer, what are the basic units of computer, types of memory, primary and secondary, what is the C? We said procedural oriented programming language. Then we defined what is programming language. We said it's a medium to give command to your computer. Again, we were back to the discussion, what is program, where we have defined it in more practical or technical way. We said program takes the input from the user, processes it, and gives the desired output. We said syntaxes are the language rules. And we said program structure can be either sequential, line by line, or it could be selection or branching, right? Or it can be it could be a looping or repetition. We define the function. We said function is a subroutine which may have one or more statement and which is designed to achieve a particular task. We discussed what is main, what is user defined function, what is library function, and we discussed one difference between compiler and interpreter. Now somebody is asking question over here. Yeah, Parth, I'm repeating. Interpreter means error checking. Both compiler and interpreter both does the same task. Your program, it will convert into the machine code, into binary code, so that your microprocessor can understand it, right? But when I say compiler, error checking will be reported only after compiling entire program. Whereas in interpreter, it goes line by line. It will check first line. If it is error, then it will report it. Not, it will not check rest of the part of program. Okay. And Nirjar is asking, ma'am, if C is the first language, how C language created? Nirjar, first, be clear with that thing. C is not the first language. We had A or ADA language before C. And if we talk about the programming languages, why we had programming languages is because we wanted our task to be easy. Do you know that the first computers which were designed were having the room size with the transistors and all? Later on, we developed the techniques to minimize the size and make it more user friendly. If we talk about the C, the thing which we required is the compiler, because what we want is we want to give user the final product. Final product may be your calculator. Do you know that most of the operating systems are developed using C and C++? All the protocols are also written like that. So when you have any programming language, the language can be created using certain compilers, and these compilers are written using the assembly language. So assembly language is the language which your microprocessor can understand, and it is a special set of instructions. It is not easy to learn like your programming language. Even we can code it, we can learn it, but it is a bit difficult because in a higher level programming languages, the syntaxes are like English kind. For example, clear screen, CLSR, it's an English kind of word. For example, get ch, it means to get a character from the keyboard. So it's English kind of statement. Whereas in a middle level language or assembly language, it is not like that. So C was created to create the C language. First is compiler was designed, and compiler is a special program which is designed using these special assembly languages. And then ultimately they came up with a whole set of rules, language rules, and they developed a library where we can just take, we can use it. So when you are writing printf, Nirjar, basically you are asking computer, look at the screen. What you are doing is, when you are writing printf and you write a double quote and you say hello world, right? You say hello world. You know what does this mean? This means like extract whatever is there in between the double quote and give it to output screen, print on the screen. So print something on the screen. What you required is you need to inform your operating system that I want to print this text on the output screen on the hardware. So for that, your operating system, which you are going to learn soon, will make a system call. It will make a system call. So those system calls has been used to develop a C library. And once the library was developed and compiler was designed, after that it was made open for all other developers. I guess I have answered your question a little bit. Nirjar, did I answer your question? Okay, fine. Okay, so that's it for today. I guess we'll have no more questions. And even if you have, please text me in the WhatsApp. Right now, I can't answer because it's already 2 and I have to take attendance. So if you're still having doubt, please feel free to contact